Scrying, Spirit Message and Tarot Reading. Come in for a scry today. Let's see what the shapes and symbols have to say. Hello, old souls, fellow empaths, seers, and psychonauts. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support or a little inspiration today, my name is Steph. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. We're going to drop some ink in the baby book of blots, scrying for shapes and symbols. That may inspire psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on tarot and oracle. And we also have Ghost Tube Seer on today for any visual inspirations that may arise from the afterlife. Overall, please do receive release freely. Before we dig in, I want to thank you for your time, attention, and awareness, your views, likes, shares, subscribes, as your presence and perspective is powerful. So when you're ready, let's go. Awesome. You know, or for those that know me, I love using, I have like 3 different kind of imprints that I wander into. In Old Souls, I love doing in sepia and white, sepia ink, black ink, just, I don't know, classic. Just, yeah, draws me in. So Old Souls, let's go. I hope you're doing well whenever you may receive this. Okay. And you know the drill as well. Please feel well to comment below what you see, sense, or feel, as your insights do expand the iScry experience, and we all become the readers, the seers, and such. And we inspire each other. We nurture our interconnected nature. You can also just drop an emoji. I feel you, introverts. Give a girl a like. I appreciate you. All right, old souls, when you're ready. Crease of creation, if you're opening up with me, otherwise you've already moved on. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of old souls, fellow empath seekers and psychonauts, thank you for being here, and may we all meet a message with meaning. Are you ready? All right, there's our portal. If you are taking a screenshot, so you can scry in your own time, personal use only. Thank you for respecting the art. Okay. Are we good? Come on. Come on to my house. Come on. Okay. Oh, I see you there. Okay. It's a bat. Ooh. I feel like I have like double sonar. Is any old souls feeling like there's like almost maybe like hemisync? I've never really done it, but it's what I hear. Or any sort of like binaural beats. It's like one ear is doing one thing, another ear is doing the other, or whatever layer of listening you're into. But it's like, it's double sonar. So hearing something behind hearing something, or stereo. I'm going to write that down. Stereo sonar. Tuning forks. Tuning forks are right here. And this is also 11. It's bringing me into a gateway. There's this being here going through. This one's already through, so I can still see. Here's the thing. I can see this other side. I'm not necessarily implying this other side is the afterlife. It may be. But it could. I'm seeing cells. I'm going to say jiggle. Or vibrate. Yeah, and maybe you can like see, it's like seeing white noise, or maybe something about white noise. White noise machine. And then there's also like sometimes when something's running and then it stops, but you didn't know it was white noise, and it's just like a pollutant, and not necessarily in a bad way, but in this example, and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that was running the whole time. And as soon as it stops, you're like, oh, silence or another layer of silence. I think there are layers of silence and sound that old souls are kind of tuning into, because there's like an investigator, Inspector Gadget, Sherlock Holmes. And here's the thing, it's like he's like face to face kind of with this vibratory state. So it's pretty close. I'm not saying it's like in my face, but it's pretty close. It's like how I've said before. Did I put ink on my face? Well, space, if we think about outer space, starts at the tip of our nose. Does that make sense? Like it's right there. Out there is right there. Out. Oh, I'm probably not doing that justice. Seahorses. And I think it's if that symbol means anything to anyone, of course, I think it's a Komodo dragon. That's like a lizard thing, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And also something that looks like a skunk, but I don't actually think it's a skunk. So if there's an animal that you're aware of that kind of looks like a skunk or has like the shape of a skunk but isn't a skunk, looks like a duck, talks like a duck but isn't a duck, but this is something that looks like a skunk but isn't a skunk, but maybe it's in the same family. There's a really big magnifying glass right here. That inspector guy, like look at that. Ooh, look at that big boy. This is part of that sight again, but it's magnified. It's like not even needing the magnifying glass because it's just there. It's there. I have a feeling as well, there's something that... Okay, so whether this message is for one or some, thank you for holding space for them to receive it. I see you in there as well. Okay, because I'm getting this sensation, just a little bit of a side scry, that there might be somebody trying to, maybe this is others, and apply whatever layer. Maybe it's somebody you know, maybe it's somebody you don't. Maybe it's our concept of, being observed, cameras, to aliens, angels, outer space, etc. But I want to personalize it and plot myself in IU, we, me, of course. There's somebody that I think at least they're close enough, or because of your senses that are kind of, in stereo, you can notice them or you're sensing it. Okay. Yeah, they're floating towards me. So maybe this is a spirit form, or at least something that's not necessarily like the way you see it, like white noise, but like the static on TV. It could be very much so an existing energy entity that is from pick wherever. But the way they like communicate with you, they're like pixelated a little bit. Okay. Go back to the other one. Sorry if I wandered off, but sorry, not sorry. Come back. If there's somebody in your life that you're aware of that might kind of have like I saw a pin. I don't want to be creepy and say voodoo doll, but you just... I feel like they're really curious. No, it's not curious. They know you, or they know something about you. It's like if somebody was doing for heavens and hot dogs, find words, like a back check on a resume, or what are those things called? I can't remember. When you put it like the bottom of your resume, if they need to check your character. Okay. So that's still the other story. This other storyline is trying to get me away from it. So I'm just going to say it, receiver release. They are trying to look into you. There's somebody you know or something about them, and they are trying to get a hold of whatever it is that you're doing, because I don't think that you're giving them access, or their access has been removed. It's like you have maybe left their story, or your story has ended, but they don't want to necessarily let their access to you go. There's some sort of entitlement issue, and I wanted to call it a curiosity, but it's not pure curiosity. It has a craw in it, and it's irritating me. And every time I try and step forward to it and speak to it, which again, maybe is a story, and maybe that's how you're feeling, old souls. You're like, old story, old story. And that's not in a like pushing out way. It's kind of like, that's a them thing, it's not a me thing. So they might try and be all, what's so and so doing? I'm trying to look, but you're not giving them access. So good for you. And this also might be other energies in general, because you have this stereo sonar kind of sight and sound. But it can also be overwhelming a little bit. When I say overwhelming, I don't mean it to sound like overwhelming emotionally, like if I was overwhelmed with emotion, if I was overwhelmed with energy. But there is something about like the volume, right? Or like changing the settings on a stereo to fine tune. Maybe you want to lower the bass and the treble up sometimes. I'm very basic, so treble bass, that's all I know. But I think there's other things too. And that's what you play with depending on, I think, your environment. Okay, so that feels really, really good. I want to come back to this energy because it's hanging on my left side. So you might be seeing things in your left peripheral. And here's the thing as well, because it's like there's front, right? And then there's even like cross-eyed center. This is specifically left eye corner out. And it's kind of doing this movement thing. This is my sight that's doing this movement thing, not the energy that I'm seeing. And it is kind of like doing a scan, but it's ever so gently. I think it's a signal. But it's in this very specific sliver. And I think that you have a connection to it. It does feel, I'm going to use otherworldly or out there. It could even be security that you have for any like side, and things like slip in the side door. It'd be like if there was some sort of subliminal message that you're looking at or listening to, and maybe they try and slip something in, like, I don't know, whatever it would be, and then like a word would pop up on the screen really fast, but we don't see it. But you caught it, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, old soul. Okay. So there's two things. It's a dragon, and or a goat. If I could put a goat and a dragon together, so maybe your greatness, your ability to persevere. A dragon, whatever dragon might mean to you, I'm seeing it as honor. I'm going to go with honor and a very large presence in the air, sky. You might even be a formlessness in communicating with someone else, like almost like telepathy, but it's not. It's like the tingles in ASMR, tingles in the fabric of air. So, and the only reason why I'm going to this is because as I'm saying that, I'm seeing a memory I haven't seen for quite some time, and it's only happened to me consciously a few times, like 3 or less. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 consciously that I remember. And have you ever been, and what this memory is like walking into a room. It's actually happened here in the studio before, and like the whole room has like this fog or this static in it, and you can see but you can't see, and you're like, is it my eyes, is it this, like what's going on? And it just has this aura about it, but you can't, there is something to see, but it's almost like it's taking form or taking shape, but it fills the whole room. Anywho, so that's the memory that's coming through. Now I lost track, and that's okay, because it's something like that. But I also think sometimes, so it's like, thank you. So it's like telepathy, but it's not. It's the ASMR tingles of the airspace. And it could be with other people that you're working with in like a grid, who you connect to. Well, okay, so you as the observer, you as the Inspector Sherlock, not so much in this like, I am curing a mystery. This is about connection. This is about connection. Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll add on a few shaman cards. And if you are part of the second or third tier of the channel membership, we'll flip it. We'll go in for an extended flip side scrying. And I will link it in the description box below. And if I remember the comment section. Oh, for heavens. All right, one moment. Old souls, I hope you guys are doing well. Empathically, I feel very grounded, which is nice considering the last Old Souls scry. And if you go to the homepage, I'm doing my best to kind of, compartmentalize, but in a nice way, in a respectful way. It was very psychonaut empathy feel. So it's cool that I feel very grounded here. Spirit of challenge is coming through. Okay, so you know what's cool about this? If I read art, you know that. So art first, word second, anything else that comes through third. It's like that being on my Ayuimi's left point of the eye and out. And it's also kind of in here. Oh, actually, that's where I saw you. It's right there. I was wondering who you were. Why is it a challenge? I think there's a challenge sometimes for old souls, empaths, seers, and psychonauts. It's like, those are, of course, just big old umbrella terms. Plop yourself wherever that might be. And again, you might be an old soul here, a new soul on Venus, or dimension 7, subdimension 4. I just heard that song. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga. I can't stop this feeling. Is it the dancing baby? I'm just going to get all these cards out here and then we'll go through the caves. Shaman of Courage. I think it's a challenge sometimes, sorry, like I said, for old souls. If because the spectrum of sorts that you're on in your tools, of your trade, of your abilities, and they're all at different percentages at one given time, and also being students and teachers in respective areas. And it might be a challenge for you to, I want to say trust sometimes, and I understand that. Okay, let's just keep going out. Shaman of Reflections. There's pets here. Hunter of Death. Oh, and there's 2. Ancestor of Guidance and Ancestor of Hope in the Cave of Earth. Okay. Now let's dig in. Spirit of Wisdom is on the bottom. So it's like when I was talking about the other side, or out there, outer space. It's like the stories, the indigenous stories have been brought down about the stars. Like there's some sort of stairway of understanding the interdimensionality of even the concept of whatever their stories might be. And I'm not trying to be ignorant. There could be different tribes might have different things. I don't know. But I feel like overall, the indigenous hold a seed that has something related to the root star. Is there a root star of the chakra? The root chakra, but I am seeing it as a root star. Anyway, of the earth. And where is that? If that's a thing. I want to note that that goat dragon has their foot on a snake. It's asking it a question. Are you a snake or a serpent? What is your spirit intention? It's like the curiosity thing. And the bat's right there with it. The bat is paying attention. I'm seeing a spaceship here with like two. Well, I'm going to call it a spaceship, but it could just be like a. Yeah. Imagine if this was like a portal, this light behind here, and this being stepped through. It would appear to be a shadow at first, but it's because it's illuminated by the light behind it, as an example. And then this one is, there's like, maybe it's nighttime, and they're illuminated, but it's almost like your illumination on them. Oh yeah, I blatantly see them looking at me, and they're kind of like at their heads tilted too. But they're looking at me like, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. And I'm back to this spirit of wisdom on the bottom dancing. Okay. In the cave of ice and in the cave of winds of the mind, spirit of challenge and the shaman of courage, there's this courage of like, I don't know. It's not like a foregoing of old souls or empaths or psychonauts. You're like, I don't know. Que sera, sera, or it's not like that. That feels, when I say it like that, like, and I'm not trying to insult anyone who uses it with a different intention. I know for me, if I was to say that as Steph, it's like, well, que sera, sera, or it'll be what it's going to be. I'm trying to release an attachment to it because, but I know for me, I'm probably lying. I really want to contribute, or I want to be a part of it, or some sort of contributing, controlling factor. This feels like the wisdom of, I don't know. What I know is that I don't know. And the challenge is for me to explore not knowing and have it be a really good time. Versus that, I don't know. I got to come back to that storyline just for a moment as it popped in. If there is this someone, if that's your, little pin in the story, somebody that, you, like your presence, like you hold real estate in their mind and in their reflections and or heart for one reason or another. It's like they challenge you. Or maybe that's just the resonance of the way you guys interact. Somehow, like they challenge your knowing of not knowing and your knowings. Because then they feel like they don't know. I know that you don't know, that I don't know. And it feels like a challenge to them. It's almost like your piece about that is so perplexing that they need to challenge it. Like, how do you know that you don't know, but implies there's a knowing? And they feel maybe left out of it. And that's where I kind of wander into like this version of it. I'm like, I can't help you. I can't help you. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I see you in there. Yeah. There's a bow. Like a bow. Not a bow. A bow. If that means anything to anyone. And I'm seeing it as I'm coming into the Cave of Hearthfire, Shaman of Reflections with that heart. So these other energies that might sometimes come through this weird ASMR tinglies of the world's fabric existence. Oh, they're your friends. Like some of them are pets that come in and out. They're also, it's kind of like the dragon. If and when and where a dragon existed as we depict it, or maybe not as we typically depict it in movies, manuscripts, etc., but the dragon existed in its own expression, however we might have translated it, they can come through. Like, there's no extinction here. There's no extinction. And I also want to remind anyone, as I'm coming into the Cave of Rivers with Hunter of Death, if anyone has had pets pass, and I'm the I can mourn, whew, feelings and healings, but please know that they do. People or pets, like, they're right there. I don't know how else to say it. They're just like right there. This face as well in the Cave of Rivers is right there where that bat was. 2 eyes. I'm hearing the song, which I believe is by Chantal Creviette's Feels Like Home to Me. You might visit this place amongst the all of connectedness, etc. But there's one place that you really, really like visiting. I also feel like there's a part of my heart that, a part of me that has passed on, and it's been a challenge to get through. It's been maybe this is control, maybe this is addiction, maybe this is changing jobs, finding a job, apply whatever channel it might be in. And that hole in my heart is being filled with the light of death. And it's churning and almost like tying up a bow, if I may, and seal it with a kiss. So there is a change in my heart space. I'm seeing what I think is a wiener dog. He's like up. He's so smart. He's so smart. Okay. Cave of Earth is ancestor of guidance, ancestor of hope. There's always different directions we can go towards, away, etc. If somebody is like contemplating, or old souls, you're in a situation, or maybe just looking, always for me, old souls like contract and zoom in, zoom out, the world stage or a specific place or whatever your attention might be fixated on. First of all, do your checks, treble, bass, etc. Why are you fixated on it? Because as soon as our feelings attach to that, it's part of magnetizing something, and how, not only like, say if it's not a great thing, like something really heart aching is going on, but what is the feeling we're attaching to it? Is it hope? Is it guidance? Is it support? Or is it pity or anger, shame, judgments? Something along that lines. I also feel like, just in general, there's a transformation going on. There's something about a decision and making distance between that decision, or something about distance and a decision. And then I'm kind of back to the knowing that I don't know. And it's not foregoing and leaving it up to whatever. This is a really kind of whatever which way you go, whatever which way you decide to go. I don't want to say doesn't matter in an insulting way. It's going to be the right way to go because you've decided. Yeah. Yep. All right. Okay, old souls, I hope this would serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. I'm going to draw a card, take us to the other side, to the bridge, if you are joining us, but there's no pressure. I just wanted to let you know. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you again next week, and so much love. Until then, bye. Let's see what the Easter egg card is. Take us to the other side. Solitude, card 31. Alone, but not lonely. Only alone.